Everyone's talking about online. Share, engage, interact. This is Newsfeed Now.
Welcome into Newsfeed Now. Today we might as well call this show Olympics Now. It's all about the Summer Games. Today, 1 year until the opening ceremonies. They sent me a big fan so that I can fan that Olympic flame. This is the unofficial countdown to the games. The numbers, though, for these games are staggering. Thousands of athletes competing for about 330 gold medals. New sports have been added. Baseball, softball are back. Also skateboarding, surfing, rock climbing. This morning, Winter Olympian Shaun White said he's aiming at a Summer Olympic sport in skateboarding. Now, each and every sport has its fans, but one sport will reign supreme come 2020, gymnastics. It seems like everybody becomes gymnasts during that competition. Every dad's trying to teach their kid how to tumble in the kitchen or maybe the living room. So let's turn to a friend of our show, a member of the Fierce Five, a gold medalist herself. Jordan Weaver joins us now. Jordan, 1 year out. Thanks for taking the time. Do you still get the butterflies as you start to think about the Olympics?
Oh, of course. I mean, every 4 years, it's just so exciting. I feel like it was just yesterday that I competed in the Olympics. I can't believe it's already 2020. But I'm so excited. I think Tokyo is going to be amazing. And obviously, you know, gymnastics is one of the most watched sports in the Olympics. And it's just so exciting how people get really excited about our sport every 4 years. All
right, Jordan, a lot of eyes are turning to one Simone Biles. I want to get your take on it. You're a college coach at the University of Arkansas right now. As you look at Simone, can she keep up this level for another year and make it back to the podium and be just as dominant as she has been over the last 4+ years now?
She absolutely can. She is in another league. I mean, if you look at the scores, not a lot of other gymnasts can even come close to touching her. So I'm just so proud of Simone. She is truly amazing, and she works so hard, and she deserves every bit of success that she's accomplishing.
All right, let's go back to London. That was a really cool time. Obviously, London, being in England, had to be great. What do you remember most? I mean, what is that one memory that you take from your time being there at the Olympics?
You know, I think every young gymnast dreams about going to the Olympics, and that one vision that I had in my head as I dreamt of the Olympics was standing on the medal podium and hearing the national anthem. And when we finally achieved that goal and won the team gold medal, we got that moment. We got to stand on that podium and hear the national anthem and watch the American flag get raised. And I will never forget that moment. It was so surreal, and I was just so proud to represent my country and go to the Olympics and accomplish what we wanted to accomplish.
All right, so where is your gold medal right now? Where do you keep it?
I'm not allowed to say that.
No, come on.
It's a secret. I can't tell.
Okay. All right. Do you ever just kind of put it on just to wear it and just to remember it?
I get that question a lot. It's a little heavy to wear every day. It might hurt my neck, but you know, every once in a while I take a look at it. It just reminds me of all those years that I put into working so hard towards a goal.
All right, so you are a college coach now. How is everything going at the University of Arkansas as you prepare for gym season that's right around the corner?
It's going great. You know, since I've been here, we've done a lot. I've built a whole staff, and we have a brand new staff in here. We've got the team practicing a little bit in the summer, but really just trying to get to know the athletes and come up with a plan of attack for the year. And we're excited. This team is on the rise, and we're going to get better and better each year. And I'm very excited for what's to come for the future of Arkansas gymnastics.
It sounds fantastic. I know, I mean, I grew up here in Arkansas. I'm a huge Razorback fan. This show is really all across the South, so we've got really all the SEC competition you're going to be facing. What should other SEC teams be prepared for when the Razorbacks maybe go to Nashville and take on Vanderbilt, or maybe go to Auburn, Alabama, or Tuscaloosa, Alabama? What kind of team are you building there?
Mm-hmm. my goal as a coach is to build a team of really strong and confident young women who reach competitive excellence. And I think this team has everything that it needs to get there. They've got the talent, they've got the passion, and it's just a matter of coming together as a team and really competing as one unit. So that's what I hope for this year, that we can just be strong and confident and go out and be really consistent on the competition floor, and hopefully we can be that team to beat.
All right, Jordan, thank you so much. I want to tell you one quick story before you go. I've got a selfie with Simone Biles. I went to the Rio Olympics and covered it for our station that owns this what you're watching right now. And I got a really awkward selfie in the commissary where we ate for the NBC station I work for. And so right now I'm going to take a really awkward selfie of me and you, okay? You on a computer,
okay.
Me here in the studio. Okay, so you ready? All right, cheese. All right, so now I've got two random, weird selfies with gold medalists. Thank you, Jordan Weber.
You're welcome.
All right, have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
Japan is being called one of the most prepared host cities in recent games. Now, according to organizers, construction at all newly built and temporary venues, including the National Stadium and the Olympic and Paralympic villages, are on schedule. Test events are now underway, and final preparations are being made to deliver on the games that organizers in December 2018 said would cost $12 billion. That number a little bit higher right now than $12 billion. Tokyo is a lot about technology, and they're upping that game with everything from self-driving cars to robotic mascots. Take a look at the robots. They're aimed for children so that they can enjoy every aspect. There it is there. You can kind of see it blinking, and then it winks. It's crazy. Again, we are 1 year away from the 2020 Olympic Games. All right, so now let's turn to New York City. My buddy Jack Doles has covered 11 Olympic Games. He will be going to Tokyo to cover the games as well. He joins us from the Big Apple. How's the Big Apple treating the excitement of now just 12 months until opening ceremony?
Well, they kicked it off in a big way today, Aaron, with they built that skateboard ramp right outside the Today Show set, built a rock climbing wall, and those are two of the new sports that they'll be adding to the Olympic Games. So, yeah, Shaun White was there and made the big announcement that he's going to compete in the World Championships, and if he does well enough, then he'll make a decision whether he wants to go for it and go for a Summer Olympics gold with Tokyo. So, yeah, they're ready for it now. I'm just glad the rain finally stopped.
All right, so Jack, you have been to several different Olympic Games, but when you talk about the expectations for Japan, I was on your team in Rio and in Pyeongchang in Korea. It seems like the anticipation for these games are pretty high, and that may just be the Japanese culture getting the world ready for what it's bringing.
Yeah, I think you're right there, and they're going to bring something new to this too. I mean, first, they'll be done in time, and I expect our living quarters to at least be finished when we arrive, which will be a nice change from Sochi and from Rio. But I look forward to seeing all this technology that they're going to throw in there, and the stuff they'll introduce to the world. You know, and what'll be great is, Aaron, the way they're going to use some of those facilities from 1964, some of the venues they used back then, they're going to incorporate into this Olympics. So you see the old with the new, and they want to make sure that what they build now will still be viable and usable, 50 years from now. They don't want to have a lot of the issues that a lot of the previous Olympic Games have had with venues that go unused. Well,
and you bring up a good point. Sustainability is something that is so important for any host country, host city. But something we talked about this morning, Jack, and I think this is interesting. A lot of people may ask us, why are you hyping these games 12 months out? We don't know what athletes have qualified. And you gave a really important issue for those watching. The reason why we do this, Jack, is because...
Well, we love it, and
True.
We love to follow these athletes from start to finish.
Yeah.
So their journey begins years before, not 6 months, not a year ahead. Jordan Burroughs, for example, here's a guy who won an Olympic gold in London, and then he returns to try and defend that gold, but he gets knocked out, goes without a medal, and so he spins into some not a great place, he said, but now he's driven. And he's driven to get back there. He's driven to get back on that medal podium. He says there's nothing like having that medal draped around your neck. So, yeah, he's experienced the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Was that the answer I gave you earlier?
It was something along those lines. I know, Jack, you've been to 11 games, so, the joke is you actually were there in Greece for games number 1, so maybe you forgot. But the answer you gave me was the ability for all of us to start following these athletes, right? In fact, this week, the USA Outdoor Championships for track and field will start on Thursday, and a lot of these athletes circled that date as a day to start that process to get to the Olympics. And I think that's important for all the viewers at home, for everybody to start learning about the athletes that are around you and really start getting excited. That's why we start a year out. And you were so knowledgeable, you gave me that wisdom earlier, even if you couldn't remember it now 3 hours later.
We did like 35 live shots.
Oh, you know what that is, Jack? That's an excuse.
No, it's just we're getting tuned up, warmed up for what we've got coming at us in Tokyo.
You know what I like best about you, Jack, is you're not afraid to put on any hat, including the hat that I have a picture of you right now in Pyeongchang. This is Jack Doles at our workstation with a stuffed bear hat, who was actually the mascot of the games there. Jack,
I looked really good in that hat.
Okay, all right. You tell yourself that, buddy. We'll go with that. Jack Doles, thank you so much from New York City. Appreciate you bringing some light to us on this 1 year out from the Tokyo 2020 Games. One U.S. Olympic pole vaulter was literally this close to winning a gold medal in Rio. Now, she did bring home the silver, but with the next Olympic Games right around the corner, she's using her silver as fuel for the future while planning a wedding as well. Our Ashley Katz sat down with Sandy Morris to talk about Tokyo and beyond.
Sandy Morris knows a thing or two about preparing for life-changing moments.
It all comes down to that one day.
It was her final pole vault at the 2016 Summer Olympics.
Oh, and she just comes up short.
For a fraction of a second in the air, I thought I was a gold medalist.
The Arkansas Razorback in her first Olympics takes the silver.
The memory just as vivid as the neon shoes she wore that day in Rio de Janeiro.
Comes in this really cool box.
Sandy's silver.
A physical symbol of all my hard work.
And a reminder of what it will take to get to Tokyo in 2020.
I know that when people say, oh my gosh, you almost had it, they mean well by that, but at the same time, I'm like, people aren't going to say that to me next time. I'm so motivated.
Despite an ankle injury, the Arkansas alum is focused on her next title.
Now I feel fully recovered. I'm on my game.
While she's back here at home training at the home of the Hogs, Sandy's also preparing for an even bigger jump.
What is that on your finger?
It's a ring.
After a competition last year, Sandy's boyfriend Tyrone surprised her with a proposal. The two athletes met on the track and the relationship started to soar.
He's a very outgoing person, kind of like me.
Posing.
And immediately we just hit it off.
An Olympian himself, Tyrone was the flag bearer for his home country of Bermuda at the opening ceremony in Rio.
He's a long jumper, so I think that just him being in the sport as well really helped us with that immediate bond.
With my baby.
The pair has traveled the world together.
Viva la Mexico. Zooming around in Germany.
But competing as a couple can have its challenges.
I'll take a jump and kind of walk back and see if I can catch a glimpse of him across the track. And it's hard sometimes because you want to watch each other, but at the same time, we both have business to complete.
Their love is long distance now.
Hello.
But that will change on October 19th.
Wanted to see how you were. Instead of a runway, I'll be on the back of the aisle.
The jumping duo is planning a destination wedding.
It's going to be on a beach, and we wanted all of our friends to be able to come.
From vaulting to marriage vows.
Just like an attempt in the vault, you can't have any doubt in your mind.
The bride-to-be approaches her big day just like the sport.
You just have to, once you're there, you got to go for it.
That brought her a spouse.
Mrs. Sandy Morris Smith.
And a new name.
All right, Ashley, thank you so much. Sandy Morris now joins us. Sandy, you got a silver in Rio. And I've talked to you, my wife has talked to you, my wife just did that story. It's not enough right now. You are so focused on Tokyo, it's crazy. Why?
Well, I mean, why not? I got a silver in Rio. I know that I'm right there, so close to being able to take home a gold medal for my country. And honestly, just making it to the games alone is a huge accomplishment. And the fact that I have such a chance to win a gold medal, I mean, I just have to go for it. I have to.
All right, so on this program already, we've talked to Jordan Weber, who won a gold medal in London. You have now a chance to go back to the Olympic Games. What is that feeling now, a year out, knowing what your goal is and that you are now 12 months of hard work away from attaining yet another goal?
It's kind of hard to believe, honestly, that it's already been 3 years since my last Olympics. Time really does fly. It's absolutely incredible to think that that was 3 years ago and we're only 1 year away.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm nothing but excited because I feel good. I've been improving, and I just feel like I have such a good chance to go out there and not only medal again, but to possibly win. And the percent of athletes who get a chance to do something like that are so small. So, I mean, it's just such a blessing.
You and I have talked about this, and a lot of people might ask, why are we so excited 12 months out? And I know you, and I know your voice for your sport and for the sport of track and field. And the reason why we're hyping people up a year out is so that they can learn about the athletes. They can learn about you. They can learn about the sport. Because we're going to love it in Tokyo in 2020, but let's start loving it now. And I know that's your heart as well.
Yeah, I mean, we only get to celebrate this much with our fans once every 4 years. So I think because of that fact, we don't do it every single year. At least the fans aren't well aware as much as they are with other sports, as with track and field. We have world championships every single year, but there's not nearly as much hype around that stuff as there is with the Olympics. So I think, why not go all out? I mean, the Olympics only comes once every 4 years. So I think it deserves being celebrated for an entire year, because that's still only 1/4 of the time that I spend training for the darn thing. So.
Well, and speaking of, you've got a competition this weekend, the USA Outdoor Championships. You're going to be there in Des Moines, Iowa. A great opportunity for fans to start now, getting used to this.
Yeah. Yes. So we have USA Championships, and the top 3 in America get to make the World Championship team and go on to compete at the championships, which are later this year in September in Doha, Qatar. That's in the Middle East, and it will be all of the same athletes who are going to be at the games, pretty much the best and the best of the best from around the world, from every country.
When will you qualify for Tokyo? When is that? When will we know who's going to Tokyo in track and field?
Yeah, we won't know that for certain until July of next year. So people don't realize we don't know who makes the Olympic team until not even 2 months before you're competing at the games.
All right, so that's pretty close. All right, so before you go, and I know you're training your dog right now, I'm going to show you this and see if you get excited. When you see stuff like this, you've got to get excited about what's coming.
Oh my goodness. I can't even begin to fathom how amazing the games are going to be in Tokyo, because I don't know how much y'all know about Japanese culture, but they love sports there, and they go above and beyond with everything. It's in their culture. So I know Rio was amazing, but honestly, I am expecting a lot from Tokyo because of their culture. Yeah.
Sandy Morris, silver medalist in Rio. Thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time here on Newsfeed Now.
Thanks, y'all. It was so good to talk.
All right, see you next time. An athlete from Tonga managed to grab the attention of the world. Yeah, that's one way to put it. In one shining moment. During the Rio Games, Peter Taftufua is setting his sights on a new Olympic gold now and hopes to inspire others along the way. Now, Hedy Chang spoke with the Olympian aiming to make history.
Peter Taftafua is trying to qualify for the Tokyo Games.
To me, the Olympics represents the best of what a person can be.
This would be his third Olympics, but still a whole new experience.
The goal was to be the first person in the modern era to have 3 unrelated Olympic sports. Hasn't been done before.
In Rio, he competed in Taekwondo. In the 2018 Winter Games, the man from the South Pacific island of Tonga, who had only experienced snow a few times, competed in cross-country skiing.
How far can we push ourselves as human beings?
And for Tokyo 2020?
I chose kayaking because that's what my ancestors did. That's how they traveled between the islands of Polynesia, Tonga, Samoa, Tahiti, Hawaii.
He says he loves the physicality and the opportunity to bring awareness to the oceans and plastic pollution.
We're all on the same canoe. It doesn't matter which end goes in first. We're all going to go in if we don't look after the planet.
He is also adding author to his list of accomplishments. We were there with Peter when he opened the box filled with the very first copies of his new book.
Guys, I got a book!
His intention captured in the title, The Motivation Station.
It's basically an essential guide to becoming your greatest version.
Inside, some unusual advice.
Don't set realistic goals, set unrealistic goals. Everyone's there telling you to set realistic goals. I'm like, what if you actually achieve them? And then you're stuck here. I think our true potential lies in the limitless.
Gratitude is a big priority for Peter.
I want to see my father and my mother's face when they see this.
He tears up reading the dedication in the first pages of his book.
To my mother, who taught me that we can achieve anything we put our hearts and minds to. And to my father, who taught me that helping others is the true meaning of life.
With the games just over a year away, Peter is deep in training.
I can't even stay on the kayak.
But he insists he enjoys the pressures to push himself.
It makes no sense, but that's the exciting part. And I want to do it so that people can see that they shouldn't be scared of trying new things.
Peter says he has changed since Rio.
Well, I washed the oil off for starters.
And is ready to shine again.
I've got a fresh new bottle ready, just in case.
Okay, so I remember Tua in Rio. Tua actually came to our live shot location, or Peter, excuse me. Peter actually came to our live shot location in Korea. Interesting stuff there. He's looking for a third Olympic Games. I think our producer Matt Sewell wanted to put that in. Matt, anything to say to that? Was there he's got nothing to say. He's got nothing to say. Wow. He does have a lot of oil. I'm looking at this picture of him from, this is the Winter Games when it was cold outside. Wow. There's Peter. All right, that's all the time we have on this Olympic version of Newsfeed now. 1 year to go, 12 months, 365 days until Tokyo takes center stage, not only for the US of A, but globally. Have a fantastic day. Have a gold medal kind of day on this Tuesday. See you next time.